What's up, family? Coach Sean here. Welcome to the Two Players Ahead podcast. I'm excited that you guys are joining us today. Man, this is episode 1. What's up, y'all? Look, episode 1. I'm super excited. Man, we got a lot of stuff that we're going to bring to you guys with the pod. Man, one of the biggest things that I really felt led to do this for, because I wanted to kind of create a lens for everybody to be able to see the life in basketball through the lens of a point guard. And we'll dive deep into that, man. But before I even go deep into that, man, I want to introduce. I got Will with me. Will, say what's up to the people.
How y'all doing, man? I'm happy to be here.
Trell, say what's up to the people.
What up? We in here.
EJ on the ones and twos.
See him over there. You see him, bro?
Man, he's on the ones and twos, man. But look, one of the things that we're gonna do every week, we're gonna keep it consistent. Yep. I really want you guys to see see things through the lens of a point guard. I want you guys to kind of understand, how to break down life and the game of basketball, right? Because in order to be a really good point guard, you have to be able to break down life and point guard. It's not just the point guard piece, right? You got to be able to be a leader on and off the court. You got to be able to bring it on and off the court. And so, I just want, look, man, we about to get into this thing, man. So we got some various topics that we'll have, and man, most importantly, man, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this thing.
Let's go.
Y'all ready to rock?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So we're gonna talk today about the evolution of the point guard position.
Uh-oh.
Timeline right
Let's go,
It's
baby.
a timeline, baby. Nah, believe it or not, y'all, when basketball was invented, they didn't really have positions. They just played. Everybody just played every position.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So it's crazy how everything kind of went full circle, huh?
Yeah.
Because think about it, you got Joker right now running the 1 at the 5.
Crazy.
Man, he killed. We ain't even gonna get into that right now. We ain't gonna get into that right
Another
now.
conversation.
Man.
Another pod.
We got the 5 running the 1, man. But the point guard position was created as the coach on the floor. You know what I mean? The person that makes the team go, makes the game, time score situation, knowing your personnel,
Right.
Basically being a coach on the floor.
You a point guard, right?
I'm a point guard,
Yeah,
man.
okay, all right, 100%.
And
Coach
people
on the
that-
floor, too.
Coach on the floor, look.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Once you stop playing basketball, you never stop being a point guard.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're going to be a point guard for the rest of your life.
That's a dope concept.
You know what I mean?
That's dope.
And so that's the bridge, right? We're going to bridge the gap between life and the game.
Yep.
Because you never going to stop being a point guard.
Wow.
Ever. But that's why everybody want to play point. You know what I mean?
You ain't never lied.
Everybody want to play point.
Boy, I wanted to play point in school, boy.
Trying to bring it up the court.
I was, bro. I did. I ain't had the handles for it, but I was
Look, man, you got people. Look, when I was coming up, man, you got the guy with the worst dribbles, the worst hands trying to play point guard. Coach said, "Here, get the ball." He can't even catch it. Come on, can't even catch the ball. Trying to I won't run the point.
Right.
Man, sit down somewhere.
Right.
Catch a rebound.
Catch
How
a
about that?
rebound.
Yeah, come screen.
Play some defense.
Do those things. But nah, man. So we wanna bridge that gap, man, and that's what we gonna do. And we're gonna talk about a lot of different topics. And so but the word or the phrase 2 plays ahead is because every really good point guard is always 2 plays ahead of his competition.
Gotta be.
Right?
Yep.
So I know how to read the defense.
Wow.
I know how to be ready for what's happening. I see the play before it happens, right? And in life, we got to see the play before it happens.
Straight up.
You know what I mean?
Straight up.
We got to see the play before it happens. So, but we'll get back to the game of it. So we're going to talk about the evolution of the point guard position. Man, I went back, y'all. I went like to the 1950s.
Sheesh, I can't tell you
I ain't
nothing
never
about
went
that.
that far
Man.
back. Never went that far back.
Man, I went
Maybe
back
the
to the
70s, maybe the
1950s. I went to look at this guy by the name of Bob Cousy.
Bob Cousy. I know Bob Cousy. Yep.
And no disrespect to the generation way before us, way before us, right?
Right.
But man, that dude was passing that rock, man. He was passing that rock, right?
Right.
man, he was really like he really had court vision, man. Like he was really that dude for real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I start thinking about, all right, so the position was created to be the almost like the dad, right? You know how the dad he makes sure that everybody eat,
Yeah.
but ultimately he gets the biggest plate.
Yeah,
That's
got it,
kind of
got
how
it.
the point guard. Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's the point guard.
Yeah, that's the point guard. You know what I mean? So everybody eat. I make sure everybody eat, but ultimately I get the biggest plate. And that's what the position was created for.
Wow.
Right? So, I mean, I give you an example, man. Like, you know, it's the hardest position to play because you got to be held accountable all the time. You're responsible for the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? You get in trouble for the good, the bad, and the ugly. You get in trouble for stuff that you ain't even do. Think about it. Man, I was in college, y'all. No lie to you. I was in college, and one of my teammates was late. I got in trouble for that dude.
Oh man,
Who the point guard? Who the point guard?
and that's off the court.
That's off the court.
Nah, we would have had to tussle at
Yeah, I had to-
Yeah,
wait,
no
wait,
doubt,
wait.
no doubt.
He know that. He said
No doubt. But listen, you gotta understand. You know, it come with a lot of. You gotta wear a lot of shoes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean the big shoes. You
Yep,
know,
yep.
you know, and heavy is the head that wear the crown.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, so if you
That's
can't,
true.
if you can't handle it, you can't. You know, you can't.
And be the point guard.
Can't be the point guard, man. Go be a 2.
Go
Go
be-
be a 3.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a 2.
number 2.
Number 2, huh?
Man, listen, I'm telling y'all, man, like the funniest thing is everybody want to play the point guard position, but they don't want to be held accountable for the other stuff,
Right.
right? Like, it's cool to be the point guard when all the glory and all the attention is on you.
Yeah.
But what about when, you know, you were supposed to, you know, not take that shot at that time? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, what about when you gotta do when everybody going clubbing, you gotta say, nah, I ain't
I
going
ain't going
clubbing.
right.
And y'all ain't going clubbing neither.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
No, I'm serious.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So, you know, the point guard position is so. But I went back to the 1950s, man, and I seen this guy by the name of Bob Cousy, and I mean, I seen him dishing that thing.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
He was dishing that thing, and he scored a little bit too. But Bob Cousy had a sky hook, like a Kareem,
Wow.
like a sky hook, and it was nice, left hand and right hand, right? And so, you know, then you start looking at the timeline of the point guard position. You know, you have Pistol Pete. I think it was in the 70s, I want to say.
Yeah, he's a beast too.
Yeah.
Beast.
He's a beast.
Played for the New Orleans Jazz,
Yep.
right?
New Orleans Jazz.
Shout outs to the New Orleans Jazz.
New Orleans Jazz.
Right?
Yep.
That's greatness. New Orleans Jazz, greatness.
Yep.
Right here.
Yep.
In Louisiana. But then it started getting interesting. You start getting these point guards that can put the ball in the basket at a high rate.
Yeah.
What time do you think that started kicking in? What the 80s, 70s, 80s? What do you think?
I think it started in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
My man Isaiah.
Yeah.
Man, the things Isaiah did with that basketball.
Yeah.
Different.
Oh, man, he was different.
Yeah.
I mean, like slide on the floor, still dribbling that thing.
Yeah. You seen
You
the
know what I
highlights?
mean?
Yeah. Right.
Tough.
Yeah.
Right? But then there was a shift back, right? I mean, because Magic could shoot that thing. I mean, could score that thing a little bit too.
Right.
He struggled shooting it a little bit, but he could
Right.
score that thing.
Right.
But Magic was a pass first guard.
Yep.
And he was 6'9".
6'9", pass first guard. Nah, I ain't say this. Bob Cousy was 6'5".
Oh wow! I was about
Okay,
to
I ain't
ask. I was
know
about to ask how tall he was.
6'5", Pete.
Yep.
I think Pistol Pete was 6'1", right?
Oh, wow,
So,
okay.
you know, so I guess Bob Cousy our first big guard that we seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
big
the
guard.
first-
all this.
Yeah, you started all this big guard
right,
stuff.
Right. Way back then.
Way back then, right? So peep it out. So then you get to like Magic, who revolutionized the game, right? So Magic made the flashy pass.
Yeah.
I mean, he 6'9", could play above the rim. Yeah, he just made that thing work, right? He was really Showtime, like, for real, right? And I think that's around the point people started realizing, man, like you can kind of combine the two.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep on my timeline.
You want time like yep.
Then you get to the 90s. You know, you got Magic doing his thing. guys like Gary Payton,
The glove.
the glove. He was really the glove, right?
Right. Earn that name.
Oh, for sure, right? And we're talking about revolutionizing the game, right? Then we get into the 2000s, you get this guy by the name of Chris Paul, right? CP was the perfect blend of being able to score
Yep.
and get his guys involved.
Yep.
Like he was the king of KYP, know your personnel.
Know your wow. That's
Know your
dope.
personnel, right?
KYP, I like that.
Yeah, you gotta know your personnel. He was also the best point guard to understand the time scoring situation. I think that was real. That's really key.
Break that down for me. Break that
Time
down.
score situation.
Yeah.
Well, that's good stuff. So, time, you gotta know what a good point guard always know what the time is.
Okay.
How much time they have on the clock.
Right.
Right. Always, really good point guards always know how much time on the clock.
Right.
Score, obviously, you gotta know the score.
Right.
If not, if you don't know the time and the score, then you're gonna find yourself like J.R. Smith. I'm sorry, J.R., man. Remember when J.R. Smith got the rebound and ran out?
I watched the highlight the other day.
You know what he told LeBron? He said, "What was score?" He said, "What was score?" Right?
And what position he played?
Two guards.
Everybody can't play the what? Everybody can't play the one, baby. Right? So peep it out. In the situation, now that's the hardest part. Because time in the score, you can see that.
Yeah.
Situation, you got to teach that. I'm preaching better than y'all saying it, man. I'm about to get y'all some. Look,
Come on, sir.
situation is everything.
Right.
Because watch this. And I'm gonna jump to now. Here's what the hardest part, what a lot of people, especially young point guards, they fail to realize is the situation part is the really, really key piece. Meaning that just because you can make a shot, or you know, that don't mean that you shoot that shot in every situation.
Got it.
I give you an example. You up 3, got 5 seconds left on the clock. Do you come down and shoot a 3?
No.
What if you miss it? They call timeout. In the NBA, you advance the ball to half court. Now the team get an extra opportunity to tie the ball
tie it
game,
up,
right?
right.
So the situation, not that you can't shoot that shot,
Right.
but the situation,
Right.
The situation was the wrong situation to shoot that shot,
Yep.
right? And so the situation is the piece that really now see, time and score makes you good, but situation, EJ, make you elite.
Okay.
Right.
Elite, right?
Yep.
And a lot of times that situation part, I really got to be in. You got to really know the game. You got to study the game.
Yep.
You got to know your opponent. You got to know, what situation you really in, so you can know what to do.
I guess sometimes you have to be in the situation.
You got to be
before
in the
too.
situation.
Yeah,
You
experience
got
it
to be in the
before,
situation,
Yep.
right? And then, there was this guy, man. Chris Paul came into the league doing his thing. Him and D. Will. Remember D. Will?
I remember
D.
D.
Will.
Will, yeah.
Didn't D. Will get drafted before Chris Paul? No?
Yeah.
But D. Will had that double cross that was unstoppable. Oh my God, it was unstoppable, right?
Man.
We called it the chopper, right? The cross, then cross.
Yep.
Get straight to the jump shot. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Just pray. Just pray. I'm telling you.
'Cause it's gonna happen, right?
Yeah. So we go from that. Then we get this guy by the name of D. Rose, the real D. Rose.
The real D. Rose.
Like
Right.
no disrespect to this one, because I still love seeing that young man playing.
Right.
But the real D Rose that revolutionized the game,
Yeah.
and I think D Rose was the start of this score first point guard. I mean, he was elite, right? I mean, he
get it.
played above the rim. He scored at a high clip, and you just couldn't stop him.
Right.
But it messed the game up because you didn't know what position he played.
Couldn't tell.
What position he played because he looked for a shot first.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
He going to the goal, and most times, most point guards trying to dish off, look away.
Right.
He going to dunk on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
He changed the game.
He's getting up there too.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying. Most point guards, they trying to shoot the floor. He's going to dunk on you, and you're gonna be on this highlight tape for the rest of your life. That's D Rose.
Straight up.
Changed the game, revolutionized the game.
Yep.
Right, and I think he was the beginning of that, man. I think he was the beginning of that score first point guard era, right? And then you got a guy by the name of Steph Curry, man, just came in and just.
You're right.
Ain't
In
nothing
the
to
words
say.
for it.
Listen, Steph Curry is what you do when you got on a video game and put the difficulty on rookie.
On rookie and put all the sliders
And
up.
put all the sliders up, right? That's what he do in real life.
Real life.
You know what I mean?
Sliders up.
It's like, but then you ask yourself, is Steph Curry really a score first point guard? And you really got to ask yourself, is he really a score first point guard? Because if you ask me, I'm going to tell you no.
Tell me why.
That's a good question. I was waiting for that question. I was going to ask myself. Peep it out. That's right. He's a score first point guard because he's very selfless, right? So a point guard is a selfless person,
Right.
right? He's
I got
thinking
you.
about himself. Remember, before he look for his shot.
Yeah, right.
So before the play start, he might initiate the offense or Drake mind me, right?
Right.
But he's coming off 5 or 6 screens, and he's coming off them hard. So he may not get the assist on the stat book, but if he come off that screen hard and he draw 2 defenders, somebody under that basket wide open.
Sure is.
You know what I mean?
Happens all day.
All day, right? But then, if that big man don't help or whoever it is don't help, and Steph Curry get the ball,
Wow.
yeah,
It's over with.
Slide 'em.
yeah, good night.
It's over with for you.
You know what I mean? Good night, right? And so it take a lot of selflessness to do that.
Yeah.
Like everybody can't do that.
Right.
Everybody ain't living like that.
Nope.
Like, man, I'm gonna catch my breath. I'm sitting in this corner. Y'all go ahead, do y'all.
Right.
Man, Steph come off every screen like he about to get the ball because he thinking about his teammates. But then he really got the handle
Yeah, he do.
and he really finds people.
Right.
I mean, think about it, y'all. Like, he averaging what? He averaged what? 6, 7 assists this year. In the playoffs, I mean, he went dumb with the dimes.
Crazy.
He went dumb with the dimes. Like,
Crazy. Triple double, boy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you ask me, I would say he's a hybrid, selfless point guard.
I got a question. So, Steph Curry, we talking about Curry. He had this period in the beginning of his career. I know you played against Curry back in the day,
Yep,
right?
yep.
So I know you can answer this question great. Curry at the beginning of his career dealt with injuries. Did it actually make him a better player by being out those two plus years? Did he actually that's when he developed his game? Because at first he was just a scorer
Yeah.
when he first came out. Now he's a complete point guard now.
Yeah. I would err on the side. I would say, man, that done wonders for him.
Yeah.
Right.
He was able to get stronger. He was able to get confidence. He was able to really work on his handle and create space. I mean, those 2 years when he was dealing with them ankle injuries, that was everything he needed to be Steph Curry.
Wow.
That changed everything. Them 2 years. I think if he would have stayed in the league those 2 years, he wouldn't be this Curry. Because his confidence wouldn't be where it needed to be. But those 2 years, I'm trying, look, sometimes I'm preaching to somebody. Sometimes that setback is really that setup. I'm trying to tell y'all something, man. I'm trying to tell y'all something. Look, them 2 years did him wonders, man, because he was able to go and prepare and get himself together. You know what I mean?
What he did?
He prepared.
And got himself together.
He got himself together in 2 years, and all of a sudden, and man, look, Steph Curry, the first superstar. I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at both of y'all cameras. The first superstar that got better as he got older.
Yeah.
No, this is real.
Yeah.
No, this is the truth. This is the truth.
He got better as he got older.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
For the who? Why?
That's crazy.
But why though? Because of his ability to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
He don't have to take the pounding. I think Steph is also smart because, instead of going and get an and one all the time, he could shoot the floater. He can shoot the pull up.
Yep.
Man, that adds an extra 5-10 years. You know what I
Just
mean?
not getting knocked down
yeah,
with it. Right, right.
Think about even and D Wade was a 2, but think about like Dwayne Wade when he first got into the league. He was really, really good.
Who you just talked about? D Rose.
D Rose,
Same thing. Yep.
right?
They're the
Going to
same
the
thing.
goal.
Yep.
It's only a matter of time before it catch up with you.
Yep.
Them dudes big in the league, man. Them
Yeah.
dudes can go put on football equipment and be football players. That's how big they are.
No, this is true. This is
You know
true.
what I mean?
It's true.
So Steph Curry just revolutionized the game to the point where, like, really and truly, man, sometimes it's hard to even watch like youth basketball because everybody like just chunking that thing up from everywhere. I mean, like, listen, warm-ups. If they ain't dunking the ball, they shooting it from half court. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. We in warm-ups, man. Go shoot your layup. You know what I'm saying? Shoot
Warm
your
up.
pull-up. Yeah, go warm up. Man, the first thing they do is one dribble, shoot the 3. I'm like, how you gonna break a sweat shooting? Steph Curry.
Right.
Steph Curry effect.
Changed
Steph
the
Curry
game.
effect. Changed
Yep.
the game.
Yep.
Completely changed the game. Right? So I remember if we were on a 2-on-1 and you shot a jump shot, you was coming to sit on the bench.
You gonna sit on the bench. You gonna sit on the bench.
For the rest of the half or the rest of the
Exactly.
game?
I don't care if you made it. Even if you made
Nah.
it. Come sit down, son.
It's
sit
worse
down.
if you made it.
Come sit
It's
down,
worse.
son.
It's worse if you made it.
sit down, son.
I got to make an example out
Yeah,
of it.
come sit down, son.
Listen, man, you'll watch some elite basketball. Dudes be 3-on-1. Dude, to stop at the 3-point line, shoot that sucker. And I mean, when I say miss it, I mean horrendously miss it. And you look at him like, what you doing? Coach, I was wide open. Yeah, you was open for a reason, dude. You know what I'm saying? You open for a reason.
Right.
You know? And so, but, situation. We don't understand the situation
Wow,
piece.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
And understanding who they are. But, I tell you this, though. Them dudes put unlimited amounts of work in that gym, man. And, that's one of the things that I seen, I seen Steph firsthand do that. Like you said, I worked out with Steph before. You know what I mean? I seen him do that. I seen him work on those shots. So for us, we looking amazed, but man, he make those shots every day.
Yeah.
Maybe
right.
like 200, 300, 400 times. You know what I mean? But man, so let's talk about, just some of the qualities of what a elite point guard possess. Because obviously there was tons. We ain't talk about Jason Kidd. We ain't talk about Steve Nash. I think Steve Nash was a great hybrid. I think
Yep.
Steve Nash was the first great hybrid
Yep.
of being able to score the basketball at a high clip
Yep.
and being able to get his guys involved. You know what I mean? Steve Nash had that one dribble. If you let Steve Nash catch the ball, one dribble and pass, the Suns was gonna blow you out, man. You ain't have no shot.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that one.
You ain't have no shot, right? So let's talk about some of the qualities, man. What are some of the key qualities of a point guard? Obviously, the first thing is you got to be a leader. Can't be a point guard if you ain't a leader, right? And not just on the court, but off the court, and not just when you got 30 points, when you're struggling.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And not just because you can tell somebody something, but you can accept criticism.
Yeah.
I'm preaching. I'm a preacher.
That's
I'm
a
a
big
preacher.
point.
Yeah.
That's a big
You know what I
point.
mean?
Right, right.
Think about how many times, man, like it's easy for people to give feedback, but it's hard for people to take it. You know what I mean? Being a leader on and off the court. The second thing I would say, court vision. Now, I want you guys to really remember this because the next pod, we're going to talk about the top 5 PGs of all time. So I want y'all to listen to this criteria. And I'm going to draw something up for y'all, but I want y'all to listen to this criteria. The next one is court vision.
Yep.
Can you get your guys involved? Or are you just a 2 guard that's just looking for your shot?
Yep.
Nah, they got some people that can see the floor, but they don't have the passing ability. So they'll try to make the pass and you get deflected. So the next one is passing ability. And one thing that we're going to talk about on this pod, that I know a lot of people ain't talking about, is the defensive side. Defensive skills. In order to be elite guard, you got to be able to defend.
Yeah.
Now, I ain't going to lie. It's almost impossible to guard some of them dudes in the NBA these days.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Everybody unstoppable. Yeah.
They big too, bro.
Yeah.
They got dudes at the end of the bench that's really like that. Like that for real. Like, you'll see one of the dudes at the end of the bench and they'll go to a regular program and drop 50. You're like, who is that? Who is that?
Right.
Oh, man, that's such and such that play on the end of the bench. That's him? Yeah, that's him. And he's really like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
All them dudes are good, man. That's 450 are the greatest basketball players in the world.
In the world, yep.
So before, before we start disrespecting them, remember that, right? So, the ability to shoot the ball, right? Now, we got some great ones that we're going to talk about, y'all, that didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but they were still great.
Okay.
Ray John Rondo.
Yep.
Rondo was great, but they didn't shoot the ball particularly well.
Right.
So, my question that I really want to kind of throw out there: can you win with a score-first point guard? Can you win? I'm not just talking about win a lot of games.
Right.
I'm talking about, can you win the real deal with a score first point guard? A guy that's looking for his shot first at your point guard.
No, I would say no.
I would have answered that differently before this conversation, because I would have said that Steph was a score first point guard until you described it just now. You get what I'm saying? Because somebody that can shoot that well. Let me speak for myself. If I can shoot that well, I'm pulling it. Screen what?
It's up.
Oh, you mean say I got range from half court?
As soon as I cross.
Every time.
Man, it's crazy. Watch this. Draymond Green was on his pod, right? He was like, man, think about like how good Steph Curry is. He could hijack the game whenever he want,
This is the truth.
And he don't.
and he don't.
This is the truth. This is the truth.
It's leadership.
That's leadership.
That's core vision.
That's court vision. So now they changed my answer. Now that changed my answer about a score first point guard, because, you know, at first I thought it was that, but now I'm trying to think. I don't know none.
Is there one?
I don't know one.
Was Isaiah a score first point guard?
He played defense too, though.
So it offset some of that.
And
And he got guys involved.
and
got
yeah,
guys.
and Joe used to shoot that. And
leadership.
Joe used to shoot that thing. Joe Dumars used to shoot that thing.
Yeah, he had Joe, he had Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, you shoot that thing. Yeah,
He had some guys.
yeah.
I don't think one ever won. I don't
Not
think
score first point
not a
guard.
score first.
Can you have a really good team culture with a score first point guard? Now let's define culture real quick.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Listen, none of the teams in college, high school, biddy, nobody's training to be number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Nope.
Everybody's training to be the best.
Yep.
Right? So when we talking about culture, culture has to be a winning culture. Now, winning is not always in terms of wins and losses. I mean, because sometimes you're not gonna have the right Jimmys and Joes,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But how else can you win? Right? You could win in the locker room.
Got you.
You could win morally. We call them moral victories. Or
Them stat sheets full.
right. Or you could win in all of them. And it's possible.
Right.
It's possible to win in all of them. But if you're one guy is looking for himself, can your culture consist of all three? What y'all think, fellas?
I would say recent history with the Russell Westbrook experiment, the James Harden moving to point guard in Houston. I would say this a no. Just off of recent history. Just as I'm on the spot answering the question.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah. Well, we were talking about D Rose, and as much of a baller as he was, I think I also saw in the NBA that it started leaning towards not giving I don't want to say not giving them help, because now they feel like they can score at a high clip. Why don't you just bring the ball down and score? But that does nothing for you in the long haul. You're not gonna win it. They get to the playoffs, you're gonna get beat. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna win games. It's gonna be fancy in the season. It's gonna be a highlight tape. But you said win it.
You talking about winning?
Win it all, right?
Winning.
Yeah. I don't know. Hadn't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Me either.
I haven't seen
I
it.
ain't saying it never happened, but I haven't seen
But
it.
I'm trying to see where.
Only it depends on I'm gonna throw a name out there, and tell me how y'all feel about him. Not thinking about what's been going on the last 2-3 years during the pandemic and stuff. Kyrie Irving. Is Kyrie Irving a score first point guard?
Kyrie Irving got saved because LeBron James a point forward.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, so
His situation is different because of LeBron. His situation is different because he's playing.
Think about every other situation he's been in
yeah.
without a point forward.
So he's a score first point guard. Yeah, so that would have been just thinking. That's the only one that I could have thought of.
Yeah, if Kyrie was maybe 6'5", 6'6", he'd be a 2.
Yeah.
He'd be a 2 with crazy handles.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you take him like he is now,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be a point guard.
Yeah.
But because of his size,
He's a point guard.
yeah,
He's a point.
Yeah,
So, that's the big dilemma, right? You got to figure out.
this is good.
You even think about Luka, right? Think about how good Luka is. Luka put that thing in the basket.
He do.
But are they gonna win a fight? Are they gonna win a big game?
He shouldn't be, and that's somebody who I feel like shouldn't be playing point guard. Like I say this all the time. I feel like Luka should not be a point guard. Just off his size, his body movement, and his speed from free throw line to free throw line. I feel as though he shouldn't be a point guard because he slows the team down too much. That's just me personally.
Yeah. But then they bring Kyrie in.
Score first point guard though.
Yeah.
See, that's
And then you got 2 score first people, right?
So
and neither one of them a point guard.
And neither one of them point guard
So-
for real.
So
Yeah.
that's what we talking about. The importance of the point guard. The importance of the point guard.
Importance of the point
The
guard.
importance of a guy that sits at the table and makes sure his guys is fed. Because ultimately, he's going to get the biggest plate. One of my favorite point guards of all time. Y'all do not believe this. Eric Snow.
I like them, man.
Wow.
I'm not saying he's my favorite.
Right.
He's one of my
All
favorites.
right, yeah.
With the 76ers?
76.
Solid.
You wanna know why?
Solid.
He understood who he was.
Solid.
He did that at a high level.
Solid.
And him and Allen Iverson, they had some teams that, AI was that dude, but, the rest of his guys, at times, some of those teams, but they went far
Yeah.
because they general was really, really good at what he was good at. Time score situation. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well. He knew exactly where he was going to get his shots from.
Yeah, y'all remember the little pull up, the little 5 foot, 6 foot pull up?
Yep. He put that big body on
Body
you.
in them
But, man, listen, you take one. that's the real NBA back then, too. Like, I'm talking about some real, like, they let you, ain't nobody was flopping.
Right.
1, 2, 3 from half court.
Yep.
You're like, man, let me check. I'm going to guard him at 3-point
Yeah, I'm
line.
gonna let it go.
I'm going at
I can't
You know
take
what I
this.
mean? I'm going to guard him at the 3-point line.
Right.
And he got to his spots, and he did what he did. He was a surgeon, Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, very few people that played the position could do that with his limitations. He didn't shoot the ball well like Steph, but he knew what he did well. He knew my job. My assignment is to get in here, touch the paint every now and again, but my job is to make sure Allen Iverson is open.
Yep. 100%.
So I haven't seen too many score first point guards win the big game in the NBA.
I'm still trying to think, bro.
I think, and this is the reason why the game is changing so much. I'm gonna go on. You heard it from me first. If we Americans don't understand the importance of teaching time score situation, teaching our guys how to play the basketball again the right way, man, once our like Steph Curry's and LeBron's and all them dudes graduate. Once they retire,
Right.
man, it's gonna be hard for us to win the Olympics. It's gonna be hard.
This is the truth.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
who's gonna play point guard for us? Ja nice, right?
He ain't no point guard.
No.
Ja going to get it.
Yeah, he definitely scored first.
Who else? That's crazy, huh?
That's crazy. I got to think through the league right now. I can't.
Young dude, Sacramento.
De'Aaron.
Fox. They gonna have to put Fox on the Olympic team.
Yeah.
Like Fox is gonna be on the Olympic team.
And I like De'Aaron. De'Aaron from New Orleans.
Yep. Yep.
De'Aaron, he a pit bull.
Right.
He's trying to score that thing.
Yeah.
So
You think a lot of, because I don't know, he wasn't that when he came out to me. Now I might be wrong. You tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah,
he was at Kentucky too.
Yeah. He went to Kentucky. He was
Yeah,
good.
he was Tyler Hero and them.
Yeah, he was.
Them boys
really-
was balling.
He was go first over there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
everybody
okay,
school.
well,
Everybody school over there.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody.
Everybody's go first. Whoever
Everybody
gets to
over
go
there.
first.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's it. You better get your shots up.
But when you start thinking about this thing, man, this thing get kind of tricky because now we start talking about the Olympics,
Yeah. Dang.
and I say we in trouble. You know, we got Jason Tatum, we got some really good twos, we got some threes. But we talking about, you know,
You don't have no generals.
none.
No flow Jones. I don't see none.
You know, who's gonna command the charge? Who's gonna say, you know what, I'll take less shots. It's not about me. Right? Chris Paul did that.
Yeah.
I'm not, you know what I'm saying? D. Will did that. Jason Kidd did that.
All the ones I see that can do that now are backups. Everyone, because I like that boy from.
We in trouble.
We in trouble. I like that boy from Memphis.
He nice.
I can't think his name. The light
But
skin
he a
dude,
backup.
man.
He ain't gonna make the
He a
Olympic
backup.
team. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
but he a backup.
it's gonna be De'Aaron Fox and LaMelo Ball on the Olympic team.
And you know Melo trying to go get it.
He trying to go get it
Nah.
every time. Now he got the skills to be a general.
Oh, he do.
Yeah,
He do.
I didn't know he did.
Oh, man, he do. He do. But, you know, watch this. They're going to play against other teams in other countries who point guard is.
They gonna play against Luka now. Puerto Rico with Jose. Jose the best point guard on the Pelicans, and he on the bench.
No, wow, that's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And he rep Puerto Rico hard.
Right.
Hard. And so then you start thinking about it like all the big stars in the NBA are not from America.
This is the truth.
Giannis,
All the last MVPs.
Luka, Joker, Joel. Man. I mean, think about it.
That's the truth. This is true.
So, yeah, man. I mean, we got some really good guards in the NBA. I ain't tripping. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if we don't have a surge of generals,
Yeah.
we're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
We gotta teach our kids how to play the right way from grassroots.
Right.
If not, man, it's gonna be a long time before we win another Olympics.
Right.
Point guards. I'm trying to look, and
Talk to 'em.
here's
Talk to 'em.
what I'm trying to get you guys to do, and this is what this pod's about. I'm trying to get you guys to see the game from a different view. I'm trying to I want my whole goal for this pod is for you to see the game and the game of life through a different lens. Because it's easy to see it as a fan, right? It's easy to see the stat sheet. That's the stuff that they program us to look at. But a lot of the big time victories don't happen on the stat sheet. You can't stat a team meeting.
Joe can't. Joe can't.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You can't stat being held accountable and liking it.
Yeah.
You
True.
can't stat like the other stuff that's gonna make you a winning program. And that's why I like the Warriors so much, man. Like I see Draymond get on Steph. I see Steph get on Draymond.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? I see that.
Yep.
It's not just always a back and forth thing, you know. But we can go. We ain't gonna talk about the Warriors. We can talk about the Warriors all day, right? So, but the whole goal is for us to see this game through a different lens. And when you're looking at it from the lens of a point guard, I mean, you start looking at everything else. You start looking at, man, like he was driving to the goal. This guy was wide open, and he Euro stepped and did a reverse layup and got it blocked when this guy was wide open in the corner.
Get him out the game.
Euro step reverse layup. Boy, that's a
Get him
combo,
out
ain't
the
it?
game.
Yeah.
Come sit down, son.
But peep this out. But what you don't see is that teammate, he look at the ground and he say, I ain't about to play hard for him.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, man, I'm about to. All right,
all
all
done
right.
been there. We all done been there.
You know what I mean? I ain't about to play
Yeah.
hard for him, man.
Yeah.
But then you got some point guards that'll come down, hit that guy, give him the confidence to make it, and he might miss it. But you know what he say? I'm going to run through a brick wall for him.
Yep. Straight up.
I'm gonna run through a brick wall for him. I don't know. But I think the guy I won't leave my charge is the guy that's gonna make sure you sit at the table and make sure everybody fed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, if you do it right, you do get the biggest table.
Mm-hmm.
You do get the biggest plate
Yep.
when you think about it that way. One more question for y'all, man. Then we gonna wrap this thing up. You know.
I'm enjoying this, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
One more question, man. We're gonna wrap this thing up. You know, I ain't trying to stir the waters too much yet.
I still want to be a point guard though.
Yeah.
I still want to be
You the rock. You the rock.
Yet. So, with that being said, we talked about the qualities. We talked about the timeline of point guards. We had some really, really good ones. But the question I want to ask to kind of close out, really good point guards at the collegiate level that didn't make the transition too well at the NBA level.
Wow.
And why?
You got me thinking now.
Look, when I was coming up, point guard, like literally, man, I was at Adidas Nations, and look, I was at Adidas Nations with Drew Holiday, right? Drew Holiday was in high school, right? But I seen Drew Holiday, Lance Stevenson. Yo, look, Lance Stevenson. I told people when I seen Lance Stevenson, I was like, man, that dude was a pro. But he had other stuff that was dealing with.
Right.
When I seen Drew Holiday, I was like, man, that dude's a pro for real. When he was in high school, I said that when he was in high school, we was at Adidas Nation. He was playing on the high school side of it, and I was I was on the college side. Man, listen, what I'm telling y'all is there's a big transition from the collegiate side going to the pro side, because the pro side is all about space, timing, and change of pace. So you can get away at the collegiate level, even at the high school and even the collegiate level, being fast and athletic. But man, like, you talking about working hard and working smart. Them dudes in the league, they smart, man. You know what I mean? Like, think about this. Joker not the most athletic guy, but he know how to contest shots.
Yep.
He know how to use his body.
Yep.
So the shots that you see Jimmy usually go to the goal and shoot a layup and make, he ain't making those shots. Why? Not because Joker's just so athletic, because the game is completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The game's completely different. So that's why I tell people every series is different. Everything that happens is different. Everything's completely different, game to game.
Yep.
So watch the adjustments that Denver's gonna make. But back to the question. Really good point guards. You know, one of my favorite point guards, I think his name was Johnny Flynn. You remember Johnny Flynn? Syracuse.
Nice. Yeah, I remember. Headband. Rock the headband.
I thought he was gonna come in and be like Chris.
Yeah? Y'all know I'm really big into basketball, but I lay low with it. I try to tell people I'm not.
I hear you just now.
Yeah, I try to tell people I'm not because basketball conversations get a little weird sometimes.
They get weird sometimes.
They get weird sometimes.
They get a little different.
Man. Johnny Flynn, and he had, you know, he played in the league for a while, but he never had that booming career that I thought he was gonna have.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right. You're right. Yeah, that dude was nice, man.
Think about it, yo.
He was nice. I'm gonna give you one. And I loved watching him in college. Two-sport athlete. I thought Charlie Ward was gonna be better in the NBA than he was. Just from what I seen, I thought he was gonna put full time into being a basketball player. He didn't have to split time anymore. So I was banking on Charlie Ward to be an all-star. And then he ended up with the Knicks, and then he was coming off the bench. And he never really truly developed into a natural lead point guard in the starting rotation.
That's good.
So that was one that I really thought was gonna be top tier.
Yeah.
Charlie Ward.
Yeah,
Florida
Ward
State
was that
Seminole, man.
dude,
Let's go.
Charlie was that dude, man.
Yeah.
He was that dude, man.
Yeah. Great minutes off the bench. Great
Yeah.
great rotational player.
Yeah.
But I just thought he was gonna be an all-star.
Thought it was gonna boom. So we gotta ask ourselves, thinking from the lens of a point guard, what stopped? What stopped him? It could be a lot of different things, man. We talked about it, right? So what hinders really good point guards at the collegiate level to going to the pro level to being really good? Systems, man. Systems matter.
Bro, listen, I was telling somebody the other day because we were talking about, I saw Jimmer. Remember Jimmer Fredette?
Jimmer Fredette.
And he was doing the 3-on-3 thing for the Olympics or whatever, right? Jim was a bucket. Always was a bucket.
Still is.
Always still is.
But Jimmer got drafted to that Sacramento team that had Isaiah Thomas, had Marcus Thornton from LSU.
Yep.
They had a bunch of scores on that. So now, and I don't know what he would have panned out to be, but because of the systems, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It didn't work out. I know we talking about, but it made me think about how the systems affect the player.
The system.
Yep.
Think about D. Will. At the peak of his career,
Man.
he just disappeared.
Yep.
Yeah.
Different system.
Different system.
You got to play a different way.
Yep.
Russell Westbrook, right?
Yep.
Now, I'm going here. Man, I rock with Russ. $100,000. He can play on my team any day because he plays so hard.
Right.
Now, everybody got the controversy around him. He don't play the right. I don't care. He gonna play hard for you. He gonna make sure he like, you know. But when Russell Westbrook was in OKC, he averaged a triple-double,
Yeah.
but he almost shot more shots than points he averaged. So watch this. So now you're going to take him, knowing who he is, bring him to the Lakers, tell him he can't shoot all those shots, and expect him to be a different player? I'm sorry, the same player? Come on, man.
Ain't no way.
Systems.
Systems.
Systems. Right? So now you gotta start, like, you gotta train different, because the system that you was in college, you might not go to that kind of system at the pros.
Right.
And you got to be able to make the adjustments. And the great ones can do that seamlessly. Some of the good ones too.
Yep.
But think about it. Every single time you see a big time name and they go to a different team, if all those things change.
Man, yeah, I remember Randolph Childress.
I remember.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
bro. He was another one. Really good point guard, bro, but it didn't translate.
Yeah.
Didn't translate.
Man.
Systems.
Oh,
Systems.
I'm just now I'm thinking about it now, man. This is
I'm
dope,
going-
man, because
yeah,
I'm
I'm going
thinking
down
about
through
it
my
now,
head,
and I'm thinking about ones that actually did it.
Mateen
And
Cleaves.
Mateen Cleaves was so
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
But you know two that did it? In a Chauncey Billups?
Yep.
Chauncey.
Because his game translated no
Hold on,
matter
hold on.
what.
His game translated
No
and
matter
what
what.
kind of team, what kind of
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
See, he won with a actual team.
Yep.
Not no big three, not no big superstar. Who the
Yep.
superstar on that team?
Probably
And
him.
Hannah.
Probably him or Ben Wallace.
They had everything that they needed
Yeah.
in the place. Rip
Rasheed.
with that pull up, man.
Yep.
Like, man, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had everything they needed in place.
Tayshaun.
So
Yep.
yeah, so he thrived with being a floor general.
A floor general.
because of the team,
Yep.
the system built.
And one other one that transitioned from college and found his way in the NBA, but he had to go to the different road. Pat Beverly.
I love Pat.
Pat Beverly. Pat Beverly was straight scorer in
Yeah,
college.
it sure was.
Straight score.
Sure was.
So
He changed
he adapted.
his whole game. What people don't realize is Pat Beverly averaged almost 40 points in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really that dude. Like, don't get this thing twisted, y'all. Nah, obviously, you know, we're talking about seeing his game from with the best guys in the world compared to, you know.
Right.
But he changed his game because he was able to make the adjustments. Which brings me to my next point. Great point guards are able to make the adjustments.
Make the adjustment.
Yep.
They're able to make the adjustments and stay great, stay relevant. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's not about them. So whether you need me to score 20, I need to have 20 assists, I need to be a supreme setup guy, I need to be a defensive guy, I can do that and I can thrive. That's what makes me great.
Yep.
That's what makes me great. And so, you know, as we begin to just kind of dissect what we're doing, guys, throughout the weeks, I'm going to challenge you. You know, we got a little basketball left. And then when we don't have no basketball left, because I think them are going to win in 5-6, but we ain't going there. Right? We ain't going there. But when we, you know, when basketball, I'm gonna ask you to watch some basketball through a different lens. Then I'm gonna ask you to watch life through a different lens. Because ultimately, that's how I believe ultimately that's how God really wants us to live too. Selfless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, you know, well, you know, God wants us to pass the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure
God wants us to
everybody eat.
feed his people.
Make sure everybody eat.
Make
Yep.
sure everybody eat.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, he gonna prepare a table for you.
Yep. 100%.
I ain't going too far. I ain't
We about to change the pod. Now that we another pod, it's gonna be another pod.
Cool, man. So, you know, but, you know, man, so let's look at this thing through a different lens. We're moving forward. Episode 1 is going to come to a close. But now I got your creative juices thinking. I want you to comment. I want you to like. And I want you to start talk. I want you to talk to me about what you think. What you think. What point guards made the adjustments? What point guards couldn't? Who I forgot about in the timeline? Let me know what's happening. Man, can't wait to see y'all next week. Episode 1 done. 2 Steps Ahead podcast. I'm Coach Sean. Good having you guys.